A Durban father that was earlier handed 2 life sentences for raping his daughter has been granted a reprieve. The Pietermaritzburg High Court has given him an application to have his case reopened. That's after his 19-year-old daughter changed her earlier evidence about the rape, saying that she lied in court. The father was then released on bail after spending 10 years in prison.
Today's true crime story is the first of its kind. I've never come across a case like this throughout my almost 3 years of covering true crimes, and the details are just very unsettling. But before I get into it, I want to put it to you. If you've been watching my videos and are still watching my videos now, but you've not subscribed to my channel, that you are being very unfair to me, honestly. I put in so much work to bring all this. Kindly do me that favor and support the channel by just clicking the subscribe button. You could also share the videos for educational purposes with your loved ones and friends in your circle. You never know what this could help solve or prevent in the lives of your loved ones. Now, let's get to the case. Today's case is coming from South Africa, on my own continent, Africa. And like I said, the details are very unsettling. Now, it involves a miscarriage of justice where a father was apparently wrongly convicted and jailed for 20 years based on the testimony of his 8-year-old child, who, after 19 years of her father being in jail, have now come forward to tell the court that she lied in her testimony. Yes, you heard me right. This daughter has now come back to the court after 19 years of her testimony sending her father to jail or to prison, to now come back and tell the court after those 19 years that she lied in the testimony she gave to the court when she was 8 years old against her father. But what was the offense in the first place that her dad was in court for? Well, unfortunately, the charge based on which her father was convicted based on her testimony at the age of 8 years old was that the man had been accused of having improper sex relations with this same girl who was his daughter. So it was like a two-edged sword for him.
A full bench of the Pietermaritzburg High Court heard evidence from 19-year-old Pinky Dube, Sifiso Shezi's daughter. Shezi lodged an application to have his case reopened after his daughter changed her evidence.
And based off of that charge, this girl came to court at the age of 8 years old and she gave a testimony that yes, her father did that to her. And based on that, he was sentenced for 20 years. And after he has served 19 years in prison, she has now come back to tell the court she lied. But I'm sure you are wondering, what would make a daughter do this? Well, let's get into it. So this shocking turn of events would eventually end up leading to the exoneration of this father, because the lady obviously came to indicate that she lied. But then the court sought to find out the reason as to why she would tell such a lie. Because in actual fact, the sentence was just crazy. It wasn't even 20 years. It was actually 2 life terms in prison. So he was going to spend the rest of his life in prison based on the testimony of his own 8-year-old daughter. But then, it turns out that the lady is saying that she told that lie because, guess what? Her mother told her to tell that lie on her father to get him convicted and sentenced to prison.
Dube told the court her mother told her to lie about her father raping her at the age of 8. Her mother, who's passed away, was estranged from her father at the time.
So, I've answered your first question, and I'm sure the answer begs a second question as to why would a mother advise her daughter to lie on her father in court that he has been improper with her, and as such end up sending him to jail for 2 life terms. What was the motive of the mother to get their daughter to do that? Well, it turns out that at the time this mother allegedly gave that advice to the daughter, the mother was estranged from the father. So they were divorced. And that is where the whole thing begins to get murky, because fortunately, the father has now been exonerated. And someone would say, oh yeah, it's a complete miscarriage of justice. But I think there are several analyses that should be done on this issue, because right from the daughter through to the mother to the father, there are possible things that could have played out or may not have played out, but we are just hearing what the daughter has come out to say. Yet we don't know the motivation behind what she did then and what she's doing now, and whether what she did then was actually a lie or the truth, or whether what she's doing now is actually the truth or still a lie. I'll explain. So on the face of the reportage, it means that she actually lied based on what the report is, what she's alleged to have said. And the father during the trial had maintained his innocence throughout, but nonetheless, the sentence was still imposed on him based off of the testimony of this 8-year-old girl. And I'll come to that part of the law as well. But first, let me do the analysis. So this girl is saying that she lied based on the advice of her mother to get her father convicted of having illicit relations with her at the age of 8 years. And he was sentenced to 2 life terms. Now it's been established that the mother was estranged from the father. And guess what? The mother is dead now. And so the daughter came to report this to the court after her mom died. And she's saying she lied because her mom told her to lie. Let's start from there. First of all, it's possible that she actually lied and that her mom advised her to do that. But for that to have been actually established, it would have been best her mom was alive. So her mom would be able to now speak to what the girl is saying, because dead men tell no tales. The mom is dead. So if this lady came back and she's now saying that, oh, I lied, my testimony was a lie and my mom told me to lie, how does the mom defend herself? How do we know for a fact that truly the mom is the one who told her to lie, and whether she even lied at all? Because guess what? She recanting her testimony now after 19 years eventually has led to her father being exonerated and freed from court. And that is where another analysis is required, because it could be that she actually told the truth back then when she was 8 years old. And that because her mom was alive, she insisted she does the right thing. And maybe her motivation was also because she was estranged from the man, so there was no sympathy. Let the law work. He goes to jail. And then fast forward, now that the mom has died, it could be the family members have now gone to convince her, because she's older now and may have probably gotten over the trauma to an extent and is more empathetic, how she's more mature to appreciate how these things are playing out in several aspects of her life. And they could have now come up with the story that, okay, just go and recant your testimony and say you lied and get your father free. That is also a possibility, although it hasn't been proven. For now, the story stands at the fact that she's saying she lied, so the man is innocent. But then, all this still begs the question that, okay, so if her father was jailed or imprisoned for 19 years due to serve 2 life terms for this that he was convicted of, and now the daughter is saying he's not the one who was responsible, then who actually did it to the girl? Because at the end of the day, she was actually violated in that way. So there was a violation. But now we are looking to find who the actual culprit was. So if she's saying it's not her father, then the next question is, then who was it? And to that question, she's now coming to tell the court that it was her mother's boyfriend.
A few years later, she says she felt guilty and was compelled to tell the truth. Dube also told the court today that it's actually her mother's boyfriend who raped her. It was the first time she's made this claim.
Then you'll see why the mother would ask her to lie and throw her father under the bus, so she, the mom, would be able to hold on to the love of her life, which I think is very stupid, especially given the fact that if this daughter is telling the truth, then it means that the so-called love of your life, your boyfriend, has violated your daughter. How do you let that slide and let your daughter go and lie on her father? That is if the mom truly forced her to lie. So I think this case has a lot of question marks, because at the end of the day, the other question also is, then where is the boyfriend? Because if the father is being exonerated off of the testimony being recanted, then means that based on what she's saying now, there could be a possibility the boyfriend would now also be getting a case in court. It means that he almost got away with what he did for 19 years, but you know crime doesn't expire, so she could always go back and do something about it, or the state might even take it up. So this is a very strange thing. I've never come across something like this before, and I don't really fault the girl. Some people were like, no, why should she be lying to her dad if she actually lied? Why should she be lying on her dad if she actually lied? But I was like, hey, come on, we've all been kids before. She was 8 years old. You can't fault her if her mom was able to convince her to lie, because her mom will definitely have that hold on her.
The state accused Dube of fabricating evidence. The court, however, granted an order to set aside the conviction and sentence. The case will be referred back to the regional court.
Things are okay now. We have forgiven each other. She was young and she was told to say what she said.
One can imagine
in the absence of
being sentenced
the
to life in prison sentence for the crime that later come to light, that whatever said during the trial
the father has
not
been exonerated and has been freed.
And I'm
he
just
has
worried,
even gone on to meet his
what
daughter
about those
and
who may
forgive her,
also be currently
based
sitting
on
in
the
jail
grounds
for the
that
similar
saying
cases?
she was just a kid and she didn't know what she was doing. But again, my earlier analysis could apply if he was actually guilty and she's now overturning or recanting her testimony to set him free. He will definitely be grateful because his daughter is helping him to escape something. That is me just analyzing from all the angles. That is not me saying that he's not innocent. No, that's not me. But I hope you get the whole thing. And I think all this boils down to the fact that as a couple, as parents, as people in a relationship, it's very important that you try to solve out your differences. Bring your best to the table every time for each other and for your family, and stay true to your vows, because imagine the couple were not estranged. I don't think all these things could have been possible. If the boyfriend is guilty, I don't think there would have even been a boyfriend of the ex-wife who would now have had the chance to do this to the girl. The girl would have been with both parents and she would have had the best love and care and protection from them as should be. So in this era, I think it's important couples or people about to get into marriages and other stuff realize that it's a lifelong haul. It's a haul, H-A-U-L. It's a haul, it's a duty, it's a task, it's a calling, it's a responsibility. It's not about how you feel about what you have to do, such that you pick and choose when you do it the way you are supposed to, and when you are not feeling right or okay, you won't do. No, you don't have a choice. Sometimes you have to look at it that way so you stay true and not pick and choose when you be loyal to your vows. And when it's a mutual thing and done right, it becomes a powerful thing. It becomes second nature to give off your best to each other. Yeah, that is what I think though. I don't know about you, but this I would want us to really have a discussion and dialogue on in the comment section. What do you think is the actual thing that happened 19 years ago between this girl, her dad, her mom, and her mom's would-be boyfriend? Let me know in the comment section. But like I said, if you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Please hit the subscribe button. Watch my other videos Let me know your feedback on it. Share with loved ones. Like I said, it's for educational purposes. You can never be sure or know how this could prevent something in the lives of your loved ones. Just feel free to share. Catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there.